An exorcism can be very dangerous, not only for the victim, but for anyone in the room.
Take Maurice Thierro. His friends called him Frenchy.
He was a French-Canadian farmer, nothing more than a third-grade education. Yet after he was possessed, he spoke some of the best Latin I'd ever heard.
And like that, an upside-down cross started to appear from within his body.
Which brings me to the 3 stages of demonic activity: infestation, oppression, and possession.
There's something wrong with the school. Something doesn't feel right.
Sophie, what happened?
I think there's something here that's not meant to be.
What did you see?
I saw a nun. What did she do? She's standing there.
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I'm here to review The Nun II. Starring Tessa Farmiga and Jonas Blackett, I hope I got his name right, who are returning characters from the first Nun movie. Now, this is a sequel, a direct sequel to the first Nun movie, which I actually thought wasn't that very good. I actually found it all right. It wasn't great. It wasn't good. It was just all right. It had some good sequences. The nun was, the best part of it, and it just felt like cheap jump scares. And when I came into this one, I was like, oh god, I'm really underwhelmed by the first movie. I'm not really expecting much. I gotta say, yeah, this sequel is a lot better than the first one. This is actually a step up from the first movie. Like, this is what the first movie should have been. And yeah, it's directed by Michael Chives, who directed The Curse of La Llorona. He even directed the third Conjuring movie. And yeah, this one is so much better. Yeah, a lot better. This carries on the story from when Frenchie, if you know, gets possessed at the end of The Nun. The nun possesses him. He is now the instrument of what the nun uses to do her heinous activity. And Tessa Farmiga comes back to investigate what's going on. And she now realizes and knows that Frenchie is being possessed by this nun. And she is literally trying to locate and find him. And that's the story. And yeah, I was really impressed with not just the characters. I feel like the characters from this movie that we seen from the first movie, we get a lot more backstory with them. There's a lot more story with the nun, Tessa Farmiga's character. We get a lot more backstory with Frenchie. I feel like these characters are a lot more likable in this movie. They're a lot more grounded. They're not as dull. They don't just feel like cheap characters. These characters feel a lot more grown and filled out in this movie. And it's made me appreciate The Nun, the first one, even more, even though I think this one is a lot better. A lot of the other characters, like Storm Reed, she's a new character that's popping in as a new nun. She's a good character. You may recognize another actress who plays the mother of this little girl. She was in the Chronicles of Narnia. She's very good in the movie. The little girl, she's very just cute and adorable, and she's very good. This is not like the scariest movie of all time. It's not meant to be. It's not the best movie in the Conjuring verse. But it's a very good film. For what it is. It's a good scare flick. I would put it so much higher than The Nun and put it higher than half of the Annabelle movies. It's funny. The first Annabelle movie was not that great either, but the sequel, Annabelle Creation, was so much better. And that was and it was that's how I feel about the Nun 2. The Nun 2, the sequels just seem to be better than the first movie. I don't know why, but that's just what it seems to be in the Conjuring spin-offs. The first one's terrible, but the second one is good. Well, that's at least how I feel. Yeah, there's so much. There's new things that are introduced in this movie. There's that you see something else, not just the nun that's in the movie, and yeah, it's really good. Good jump scares. People were jumping out of seats. You can see a few chairs shivering. 7 out of 10. Good time.
It's okay to be scared. I'm scared too.
You send that